to you from a Premier Inn hotel room. Not much entertaining about it. As you can see, I've got my interview attire on, my smart get-up, my only smart get-up. But yeah, there's nothing really that awesome about this hotel room. Well, two things are. One, it's got a key card. Not sure if you can see that. Boom, key card. Not an actual hotel room key which you used to have ages ago. But the other really cool thing about the hotel room is, without fail, every single hotel room I've ever stayed in my entire life has had a Bible. I hate to say I actually sat down and read a couple of pages last night, and let me tell you, my faith has not changed in the slightest. Anyway, yeah, I'll show you the view. Look how pretty it is. Anyway, I don't really like this sort of location, so let's move back over to my room. So I wanted to do a vlog from the Premier Inn, but unfortunately I needed your question, so I couldn't do it then. So yeah, question you asked was something along the lines of, have I been out, have I been in a party, or have I been out with college friends? There have been 3 times, I think it is, that we've been out drinking, and we're having a house party hopefully on the 25th of this month, which is, yeah, it's going to be pretty good. But yeah, I mean, we do hang around a lot, and sometimes we hang around outside of college, but yeah, not that much alcohol involved, unless if, you know, we're actually, you know, hardcore drinking. It's either, the thing is, it's either a lot or none. It's never in between. Right, so about the interview at Norwich, I don't know how it went. That's the problem, because I do not know. It went well. I could answer all the questions fine, and I felt like I did go on a bit with the questions, but that's the aim of the game, innit? And yeah, but like, I don't know. I really do not know how well I did. But I got the interview at Bournemouth on the 2nd of March, and I've just realised that's a Thursday. So hopefully you're going to see another travel log from Bournemouth. Right, so Dark Knight Rises is going to be the review, and yeah, my question to you, Matt, about the Dark Knight Rises is, what did you think of it? Because I get the feeling that it is a really half and half movie. You either like it or you... I don't know anyone who hates it. I don't see how you can hate it, but I wonder what you think of The Dark Knight Rises, because Dark Knight's one of your favourite movies, and Batman Begins is, you know, a generally well received film, but Dark Knight Rises definitely has got, like Return of the Jedi, it's got like kind of a split in, there are people who really like it, and then there are people who just find it okay. So I wonder what you think of it. Also, the reason about me reviewing the Batman films, it is entirely coincidental. It does not have anything to do with Lego Batman. I just picked it up in CEX one day, Batman Begins and Dark Knight Rises, and I didn't remember Lego Batman was coming out. So yeah, a bit of a coincidental movie review tie-ins, like sort of when I reviewed Force Awakens, the Star Wars movies, and from Force Awakens. But anyway, Dark Knight Rises. Right, so it follows on 8 years after the event of Dark Knight, and yeah, now Bane is the major threat, and Gotham's in a bit of a good state. Batman's in a bit of an exile after the public outcry about Harvey Dent and what happened in the Dark Knight. So he's in exile, but he's forced out of retirement because of Bane, who turns out to be much more evenly matched to Batman than first thought, and Bane starts to destroy Gotham from the inside because he is the last member of the League of Shadows, which is the organisation for Batman Begins. Let me just say, that is a really good way to tie the movies together. I'm not sure if Bane was originally in the comic books a member of the League of Shadows, but that is a brilliant way to, you know, link them together. And yeah, basically Batman finds he's met his match, and he has to sort of fight Bane out of the city and eliminate his control. Also in the movie, it links in stories of Wayne Enterprises collapsing, and Catwoman So yeah, let me just address these things first. I think the first storyline, the major storyline about trying to stop Bane, is great. The other two storylines, Catwoman and the Wayne Enterprises falling, completely pointless. I feel Catwoman is one of the most pointless characters in movie history. Now, I don't really have a problem with Anne Hathaway's performance or anything about the character, it's just the fact that really she does nothing that no other character could have done. And yeah, you could have had all the scenes in which she is sort of being a behind the scenes foil for Batman being done by, well, another character who's eventually revealed to be a bad guy, which I'll get onto in a minute, why I hate that. And you could have had all scenes where she saves Batman's ass done by Jim Gordon. Pretty pointless if you ask me. So yeah, characters. I'd say Christian Bale's performance is the exact same as The Dark Knight. This time's put through a bit more strain, physically rather than mentally, as in the last two movies. And it definitely does show it off. There's a brilliant like section of the movie where he is just down and out and he's trying to get out of it, and it leads straight into part like the third act of the movie, which I think is brilliant. And again, I say all the returning cast members do a brilliant job. Again, Michael Caine, Morgan Freeman, and Gary Oldman. Again, haven't had a single fault with them in the first two movies, and this one's no exception. I'll also say the action scenes in this movie are by far the best, because unlike in Dark Knight and Batman Begins, where it's just Batman against the villain and maybe a couple of the villain's henchmen, this time it's the whole police force against the whole of the Reformed League of Shadows, and that final battle is pretty damn good. Right, so my complaints about the movie, because there are quite a few, mainly to do with the villains. I don't mind how Bane looks, and I don't mind the storyline that they had for most of the movie, but his voice grated on me so much. Now, I could not take him seriously. It wasn't cringy, but it was pretty close. Could have done with a much more subtle voice and much less sarcastic voice. It could have been so much better, and it could have been like really threatening if he had a good voice, but this time he's not threatening because of his voice. And something that happens later on in the movie, involving a twist they throw in about Bane not being the major villain, and there's another character who I've mentioned before should have been the one who was the foil for Batman. Yeah, it's a twist at the end of the movie. I didn't see it coming, but this character had no build-up in the whole movie until this point. No build-up at all for this character. I can't remember a scene. I'm not going to say who it is because of spoilers and all, but like, there's no build-up to it. And Bane had such a good backstory, and then this whole introduction of this character being the villain just ruined Bane's potential backstory. And the way that they died as well, the way they finally died, really disappointing. Like, yeah, really disappointing. The whole twist thing didn't work. Also, there's a cop in the movie, another character, I can't remember his name, who is one of the only people to actually figure out who Batman is. Not memorable, but nothing awful. A final complaint about the movie is it's got a lot of similarities to Batman Begins, which is great. I mean, I love the first and last movie of the series tying in, but there aren't a lot of ties to The Dark Knight. I don't think the Joker is mentioned once throughout the movie. I know Heath Ledger passed away shortly before Dark Knight was released, but they could have had a bit more connection than just Harvey Dent and the events that happened in Dark Knight to do with him. They could have had a bit more, like, to do with The Dark Knight, and yeah, that's my complaint. So overall, it's a bit of an movie. It's not as good as the first two by any means. I'm probably only going to watch it once. It's not too enjoyable, and it mixes in a lot of story elements, some which just don't make sense, and the villains as well, forgettable and cringy, and yeah, I'm not a massive fan of it. I know it has got its audience, but I'm not one of them. Far from the worst, far from the best. God's sake, I'm not sure how many fanboys are pissed off with that. But anyway, yeah, thanks for watching, mate, and I'll see you on Saturday.